going live right now. Okay, so for Clubhouse people, I am attempting to live stream me doing this bit of content across 4 of my social media profiles, and I wanted to do it in Clubhouse all at the same time, and we are streaming live to YouTube. So that's why I've put in the little brackets LS. So this is live streamed, but I'm not going to take anyone up for questions for a while, so don't worry at this point. But if you don't want to be recorded later, let me know. It is only live stream rather than recorded, but let's see how we go. Cheers everyone, drinking my tea. Okay, right, so I've got my glamorous assistants, Abby and Holly. If you need me, put your hands up. If anyone's watching the stream, so got some viewers everywhere. Hi everybody, good afternoon. It's Tuesday, no it's not, it's Monday, and it's hot in this room, so you can't see this, but behind my big computer I've got a bit of glamorous cardboard. YouTube can see that. That's to stop the sun coming in and making me like a frog under a microscope all day, as I still am awaiting my blinds to be delivered. So it's not very glamorous, but let's do this. Okay, so it's my new mission in life, is how can I get people to make an extra £1,000 as easily as possible. Okay, so what I've sort of put down today is some thoughts around, if somebody came to me, and they do, and they say, Helen, I really want to join your program, and it's $997 up front, and this is going to be both my programs now, so the LinkedIn Mastermind will also be done on this pricing sort of plan, which is $997 up front, and then £1,000 when you make it back, and you've got a return on your investment, and you're feeling super comfortable and happy to pay it back, and we celebrate with you. Hooray! So for the Business Mastermind, which we are sort of starting on the 1st of April, all I've been thinking about is, how can I help people make the money, then give me the money? Which I know seems a bit like evil genius, but you know, if somebody can't put their hands on 997, that's when I was thinking, right, how can I help people make an additional 997 in their businesses or in their lives, or create it? So I actually didn't use the word manifest, because I know it's a bit of a turn off for a lot of people. But if you think to yourself, I want to make 997, whether you want to give it me or somebody else, I thought, let's go through what advice would I give to somebody. And for the camera's benefit, I'm holding up some actual notes, guys, which isn't like me, but I'm not feeling very well. I've got my blue light blocking glasses on, so I've been not feeling great. Not COVID, because we've had COVID in this house. I didn't catch it, but my daughter had it. But not feeling 100%. So I wanted to think, what I want to do is, like, how can I be as useful as possible today? And for me, that is, how can I make people some money? Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy lots of nice things that make you happy, and money also buys you the opportunity to do more things to make more money, like, for example, buy my Business Mastermind. Okay, so I'm going to take it easy because I'm very hot and I'm probably a little bit dehydrated, but I'm here. I'm showing up for International Women's Day. I was on stage this morning with the lovely Ashley in the Breakfast with Winners with Lisa Snowden, who was fantastic, and then she replied to my story on Instagram, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's crack on. Hopefully everyone's having a good International Women's Day. As the parent of 2 soon-to-be women, it's been a roller coaster. That's all I'm going to say about today and my beautiful children. Okay, let's just get straight to it. So these are the things that I wrote, like, off the top of my head this morning. I was thinking, how could I help somebody make £1,000 in their businesses, or just in their lives? Just create it into your life, manifest it in. I didn't want to use that word because I don't want to put people off, because it's not about sitting about thinking, oh, you know, I have £1,000 additional income. It's definitely the first step to bringing anything into your life is, yes, absolutely understanding that it's possible. That's the first thing. Like, do you believe it's possible for you to create an extra £1,000 in the next, what is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks? 2 weeks? I think it's 3 weeks. Is that possible? Even if you've never done it before, and that's quite important. So having done something isn't the only way you can believe something's possible. I wanted to really step into that belief that anything is possible, and you can absolutely make £1,000 by the 30 something, whatever the dates are, of March. Need to get that right. But anyway, so you want it in your bank account ready to go just before the 1st of April, hopefully, if you're going to give it to me. Okay, so let's think. So the first thing, just on the basics of what I would do, is I would write it down. So I'd have it on my whiteboard, which some of you can see in on the screen. Some of you can't, but you have to trust me, it's here. Which says inside, right on my whiteboard, make 997 by 1st of April 2021 to invest into Helen's Business Mastermind, for example. Other examples are available, but giving it a home. So if you make this money, what are you going to do with it? So yeah, I'm being facetious. It doesn't have to invest into my mastermind, but what would you do with it? What would you buy with it? What would you invest it in? And write that down as well to give it like a purpose. I feel like money's like, we're in an abundant universe, but it likes to have lots of love and it likes to have a purpose. So I would write that down. Make 997 by 1st of April 2021. For our American friends, it's the other way around. For our UK friends, that's how we write the dates in this country, 010421. And then I would write for, and what would it be for? And then because it's me, I'd probably draw lots of pictures around it about the things that it would give me. And for example, if you did invest it in my business mastermind, what would that mean to you and your business? And how would you transform that money into more money? And then what would you do with that money? So allow yourself to kind of go on a bit of a journey, like a fun, enjoyable, fantasy journey around actually what your life will be like when. Okay, so that's the first thing. It's actually believe it's possible, enjoy the feeling of the reality of it happening, like who will you look like how will you walk, talk, wear. I don't know, I've not been out of hoodies for a while, but how would you show up in your life and your business when you've manifested or created this additional £997 in your life? Because you know what will happen once you've done it once is you will truly believe then that you can do it again, and suddenly it all becomes easier. Okay, so number 1 out of 7. This is an obvious one. They're all pretty obvious, but I still want you to think about them, write them down, but more importantly, I want you to do them. Yeah, so if you do these things for the next 3 weeks, let's just see what happens, then you can report back. Okay. Number 1, repitch an offer you know has worked in the past and put a deadline on it for payment by Wednesday, the 31st of March. Very important. Deadline. People love a deadline. I want you to repitch an offer by posting it across all your social media. I want you to do 4 pillars of content around it. So a story about it, a video about it, some social proof about it, and a call to action for it. So for example, you could bring something out that's £500 or £1,000, just go all in to sell one thing at 997, or you could sell a couple of things at 497 if you want everything else ending in 7, right? Or you could break it down into other things, obviously. But the point of point 1 out of 7 is it's the repitch of an offer that you know has worked in the past. So you've already got the evidence that you've sold this before, and you pretty much know you can sell it again. Just relaunch it, repitch it, but put that deadline on it. Super important. Got to be paid by, not delivered by, but paid by upfront Wednesday, the 31st of March, and post it everywhere. That's going to be your public declaration of creation. Made that up, but yeah, your public declaration of creation of, you know, this is my offer, this is how many people it's for, this is how much it is, and this is how you get it. So really clear and concise offer, and this is when you need to have signed up by the universe and all the humans within it. Love a deadline. We know this to be true. That's number 1. You're going to repitch something publicly you absolutely know you've sold before, and I think that's a really important one. Okay, so that's the first thing. So I want you to all do that today before you go to bed. Amazing. Right, number 2 out of 7. I want you to offer your existing audience, so your existing people in your existing world, an opportunity to work with you on a deeper level. Now that's a Petism, but it makes sense. So have a think. Again, this is it, like, get your pen and papers out, like, write down 5 to 10 people that you know are already in your world. They've probably already bought something from you. Like, what else could you offer them to work with them on a deeper level in a smaller group environment? Most people are looking for more of you. So yes, all of this, the leveraged content and leveraged work and group programs are great, obviously, but there's probably people right now who are waiting for you to offer something on a deeper level where they can get closer to you, whether you call it a VIP, inner circle, small group mastermind, whatever it is. But I would try and find 5 people who are interested in working with you on that deeper level, charging $197 because it's a test price. You need to pay by the 31st of March, and then you'll work with them, over 6 weeks in April going into May. It's a really good time to do things like that. Kids are going back to school, the world's starting to open up. People who've been watching you for a while will be waiting for that opportunity to work with you on a deeper level. Yes, we can sell them loads of things at a high ticket, high value, transformational programs, but I'm talking about what we're going to do in the next 3 weeks. That's what I would be doing. And that is, in fact, how I started Billington Mastermind. I had 8 people work with me for 300 quid. And that's how the whole thing started. So I'll be looking for 10 to 15 people that you know, and approach them and offer them an opportunity to work with you on that deeper level. And if it's not them, do they know anybody just like them? So you want 5 people paying you $197, paid up by the 31st, and then you work with them over 6 weeks in a small group program. That's another way. So I'm going to give you tons of ways of making the 997 today, not just one. So number 3 out of 7. Doing the thing, trying to do 3 things at once, guys. Follow up with people who have expressed interest in the past in anything that you sell. So whether it's people who've clicked on things and not completed, whether it's people who have inquired about maybe a product or service that you have already in your kind of arsenal, people who've just gone cold leads, well, we're warm leads, now cold. Again, this is the time, guys. This is such a good time to re-engage with people because the world is opening up again. People are feeling more positive, where they might have been completely paralyzed by circumstance 2 months ago when we were going into another lockdown. We didn't know what was happening. Now is the time to re-engage with those people. So number 3 out of 7, follow up with people who've expressed an interest in anything that you sell in the past and just re-engage with those people. I'm pretty confident there's 997 waiting for you there. Okay, number 4 out of 7. This came from Gemma Went, who's a good friend, online business friend of mine, when we were doing the Clubhouse rooms in the morning with the lovely Julie. We were doing the breakfast show, and this came up, and I just thought, this is so good. So all credit to Gemma for this one. I don't know where she got it from, but to your email list, even if they've only got 5 people on it, but if you've got more, great, send a really simple one-off written text email that starts with, "Are you still ... and in the dots, looking for, interested in, whatever it is that your audience really desire. Are you still?" So for me, it'd be, "Are you still looking to get leads from LinkedIn without sending any DMs, ? Or are you still looking to grow your online business without having a meltdown?" I won't say that, but you know, like something like that, ? Are you still looking for the thing that you sell? And send it out to everybody and just see what happens. So just open up the floor again. Really good time to engage audiences. Open up the floor with the people who are already on your email list with the very simple, "Are you still ... email strategy that I borrowed heavily from Gemma Went. So all credit to Gemma, thank you. So I don't think it's a secret strategy, but I think it's such a simple concept to re-engage with your email list. But are you still looking for the thing you were looking for in the first place, basically? The reason why they signed up. So that's number 4, and I will recap them, don't worry, guys. Okay, number 5 out of 7. Bye, darling. Have a lovely time.
And shoes.
They're all in the shoe cupboard where they live now.
I'll get there.
You have to just slide past the bed. Okay, number 5 out of 7. Now, this is some might say this is a longer term plan, but actually, I think in 3 weeks you can actually do this if you're prepared to do the work. Okay, create a £99 version of your bigger thing, whatever that might be. So for me, a £99 thing in our world is always a 1 hour done over Zoom strategy call where they come with, they're feeling like this, and by the end of it you can get them feeling like that, or their understanding is at A, and at the end of the call you can get them to the understanding of B. Now obviously I could do a whole session on £99 thing, and indeed I do, but if you're thinking about how can I make $997 in the next few weeks, create this £99 version of your thing. I think I wrote some notes on this. Hold on, what did I say? And post it 100 plus times. That was it. Simple but effective. So get your £99 thing and go and post it 100 times across multiple platforms, multiple Facebook groups, multiple places. Have it as your call to action whenever you do guest experts or Facebook Lives or Clubhouses. And have that as the call to action for your £99 thing, to give people something to buy when they see you being active over the next 3 weeks. I reckon if you do it 100 times every 2 to 3 days over the next 3 weeks, you'll sell 10. It's a lot of work, but it's £1,000 that you can reinvest into yourself and your businesses. So that would be my advice, obviously, to create a £99 thing, but to sell them, of all the things I've said so far, that's probably the hardest in terms of the activity required. But it's doable. Do you know how I know? Because I've done it myself many times. So I reckon you could sell 10 of those if you really go for it. Okay, you won't be expecting me to say this one, but it's true. Number 6 out of 7 about creating 997 into your life before the 1st of April. Hopefully so you will invest it back with me. Go through your expenses. Now, this is like such an evolved version of Helen because I would never have said that before. It's always like, go and make some more money, make some money. But you know what? Having done this exercise a couple of times in my business and my personal finances, I reckon you can find £1,000. The average person can save themselves £1,000 with this stuff. So from a business point of view, I want you to go through and look at all your subscriptions for all of the tech that you use and all of the things that you've ever signed up for over the years. Go to PayPal and look at your recurring payments, and go to Amazon, any subscriptions you've got there. Go to things like Audible. So I have an Audible subscription, but I very rarely listen to audiobooks. So there's $7.99 a month that I'm not really using. Software that we probably signed up for 3 years ago. We've now got some more singing or dancing thing, and we've forgotten to, obviously Abby's listening. She's like, I've done all this now, Helen. But Jill, if you're a solo entrepreneur and you're thinking, how can I create this money? Like, go through your stuff. Go and look at old URL renewals that are coming up. Those URLs that you bought when you had that business idea you did nothing with. You don't need it anymore. Get rid of it, declutter it from your life, and save those renewals from coming up again. Renegotiate your utilities, your Sky TV, whatever it is that you use. Like, for example, we have Netflix embedded in our Sky TV now and things like that. So make sure if you've done anything like that you've cancelled your old one. Renegotiate all your packages for everything that you use, redo your gas and electric, and just go through your bank statement and make sure that you're not paying for things still that you don't use. Some cringy examples from my life, some kind of, what's called now, dragon slaying thing that the kids had when they were probably 3 or 4, been paying $12.99 a month for that for ages. They probably never used it for 10 years. Pet insurance for a cat that's been dead, missing, presumed dead, for at least 5 years. I've been paying for that, and goodness knows what kind of insurances I've got over the years for maybe appliances I don't use and things like that. So just go through, not everyone will have those extreme examples, but go through your expenses and look where you can actually cut back and renegotiate and free up some more finances that you can then reinvest into your business, right? So that's number 6, go through your expenses. Number 7, again, this isn't business strategy, But I've been in a situation many times where I've had to make some money, and it's kind of these are the things that you don't want to do, and it's not sexy to talk about, but sometimes these make sense. Right, I want you to go and have a look in all of your spaces where stuff collects. Your drawers, your bedroom, your sheds, your garages, your lofts, your under the stairs cupboards, the boot of your car, your desk, your offices, your handbags, pockets, and I want to see what are these wardrobes, all of these things. Who would give me money for these things that I don't need or use? And you know what they are. It might be an exercise bike, it might be a designer handbag that you don't really like, you got it on a deal, it might be tons and tons of things, baby clothes that you're not gonna have another baby, stuff that's been in the loft for ages. Like, just everyone's got so much stuff, right? And if one of the first ways to manifest more money in is to declutter, like, this is a win-win. So move some of that stuff out of your life and into somebody else's and take some money for it, particularly things like clothes, shoes, bags you can sell quite easily, and big things like bikes or fitness equipment. People are crying out for it. Nobody can get a treadmill at the moment and stuff like that. And the other thing is make some sacrifices somewhere. Like, these are all things that will absolutely add up. And I think looking at your actual lifestyle, I saw something like this. Like, I'm a compulsive, impulsive shopper. So there's things I've written down here which I should probably take note of. And I read about this on Facebook. Someone said, freeze your bank card in the freezer. So you have to unfreeze it to get to it. Delete or turn off Apple Pay, Shop Pay, and Touch ID, and Apple Pay, anything that makes buying things on impulse a lot easier. If you've got to get out of bed and go and find your credit card, especially if it's in the freezer, you're much less likely to buy that stuff. Do your food shopping online. Like, I've really realized how much I used to overspend by just throwing things in the trolley. Like, now I'm much more, I still spend a lot of money, but it's like, at least I can see what I'm spending as I'm going. So that's made a bit of a difference to me. But yeah, just look at things that you might be spending. So when I lived in a different village, like, there's a really nice bakery there. So every day I was there buying lunches, treats for the girls, stuff for the girls for later, like fresh this, fresh that, which is lovely, but not very good for my health wise. And I was spending, a fortune, 15, 20 pounds a day, just instead of making some sandwiches at home. And they make the sandwiches up in front of you. It's like, there's no difference to you making it, really. Not saying don't treat yourself and don't have a nice time and have good things. Obviously, I'm very frivolous in a lot of areas, but you know what, this also means there's lots of easy ways for me to find money if I had to. Now, I'm not saying making oh, there goes YouTube's run out of battery. I'm not saying you need to start to live like, you've got to live your own life, but this is a short-term plan for the next 3 weeks to get this £1,000 into your life by the 1st of April, right? Okay, so they're the things that I think I would do, and I wanted to advise people. So the people that have said to me, Helen, I really want to join your business mastermind. I know it's $997 up front, and then it's £1,000 when I make it back. I feel ready and willing and able and excited to pay you back, which is great. But I just don't think I can put my hands on £1,000 by the 1st of April, right? So my content between now and the 1st of April is going to be pretty much all about how can I help people make an additional, not the $997 they're already making, but an additional $997 into their lives before the program starts, so they can be invested back into me. So as much as I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart, but you can make $997 and spend it on whatever you want. It might be a holiday. It might be a new wardrobe to replace all the crap you just sold. It might be it might be someone else's program. It might be something for your business. It might be to outsourcing your business. But the key word in this session is additional. How can we get an additional $997 into your life? So I hope that's useful. Let me run through the 7 things again, and then I will have a look at see, I'm trying to do multiple things at once. For those who weren't here at the beginning, I am live streaming this to 4 or 5 places online, and I am doing a Clubhouse at the same time. So for anyone in my Clubhouse audience, it does say LS when you joined, but if you don't want to be live streamed, asking questions and getting answers, then don't put your hand up for this session only. I'm not going to live stream them all. I just ran out of time and I thought I'd attempt to do them all at once. And here I am doing them all at once. Okay. So the 7 things, let's just run through them again. And if anyone wants to see my face while I was doing it, you can always go onto my Facebook later and rewatch it. It'll be on my Facebook wall, on my YouTube, and on my Facebook business page, and in my free private group. Okay, so number 1 out of 7, re-pitch an offer you know has worked in the past. So that's the important bit there. You know it's worked in the past. So re-pitch that to people who might be new people in your world, but who you know it's worked in the past. Offer it again, up to and including the value of $997. However, that stacks out for you and your business model. And the most important thing is make sure they understand that they need to pay by the 31st of March. You can deliver it April, May, June, July, whatever you want, but you have to pay by then. So give them a special offer and give them a deadline. Do that publicly, and that's the one thing I want everyone to do today. Number 2, offer your existing audience an opportunity to work with you on a deeper level. So write down 10, 15 people of your main people who love your stuff, who buy your stuff, who are in your world, and approach them personally and give them an offer. The offer I suggested was $197 for 5 people to work with you over the next 4 to 6 weeks in a small group program where people get closer to you. But you can stack it out however works best for you. So that's a private offer that you make to people. Number 3 out of 7, follow up with people who have expressed an interest in the past, particularly timing-wise now. I really feel this is a great time to re-engage your audience, and particularly people who were interested in your offers, products or services, maybe a couple of months ago when the world was very, very uncertain, who may be more interested and ready to talk more now. Things are a little bit more settled, or potentially we've got light at the end of the tunnel. So follow up. Number 4, from the lovely Gemma Went, send a very simple, are you still ... email, a few lines. Are you still looking for the thing that you sell, basically? Are you still looking to solve the problem that they've got? You'll know how to spin that to your audience in the best way. Number 5 was to create a £99 version of your thing, so a one-off strategy call with you and post about it in 100 places at least. Multiple times over the next 3 weeks, and I'm pretty confident you'll sell 10 of those things as long as you're prepared to go all out in your marketing of your thing. Number 6 out of 7 was go for your expenses, all the bits of tech, the private and business stuff that you maybe signed up for, URLs that are renewing, renegotiate your utilities, your TV packages, and all of that jazz. Go through your bank statements, business and personal, and PayPal, and just check what you're paying for and make sure you're still using and getting use out of it all. You may well be in a membership group that doesn't serve you anymore, and it might be time to move on, for example. Okay, so that's number 6. And number 7 is to sell some stuff and make some sacrifices. So look around in your probably cluttered homes. I know I've moved twice in the past 6 months, each time filled multiple skips with stuff, and I've still got stuff to go. So we collect stuff and sell some of it, make somebody else happy, get a bit of money in for yourself. I'm pretty sure most of you have got £1,000 worth of stuff lying around your houses right now. You just need to go and look for it and do a bit of the work. Like if you don't want to do any work, or you've got high value stuff that you can sell, look for a consignment selling service. That will be somebody who will take the things off your hands, sell them for you, take a large percentage, as they should, because they're doing the work right, and give you the profit. So that's a consignment selling service. There will be somebody local to you. And if you're not sure how you're going to make $997, why not become the consignment selling service for your small town, village, location? Why don't you do that? Put that out on the buy and sell, saying, I will sell your stuff for you. I'll do all the buy negotiations, and I will take 25% of what we make together. So there's another bonus tip for you there. And the other thing was to make some sacrifices in the way that you're running your life, just for now, not forever, just so you can get that money in the bank so you can invest it into whatever it is that you like. Ooh, Abby, Holly, what did you think?
Love it. And I love the consignment selling service. That's what Kim Kardashian did when she first started out. It was her first business.
Yes.
And she sold everything on eBay for all the rich and famous.
Nice. So you could just sell everything on eBay for the semi-wealthy people in your area. A lot of people have got a lot of stuff, and a lot of people don't want the hassle of selling it. So there's definitely a business opportunity there, which requires very little skill, really. So Erica said, just going back to my comments, Erica, thank you for being here on Facebook. For us non-iPhone people, you are welcome. And another person who I can't see your name, sorry, mess equals stress. Yes, always feels good to have a clear out, Helen. It does. Yes, happy International Women's Day, Karen. Thank you. Okay, so does anybody want to ask me any questions about those 7 things that I've talked about tonight? Give them today, and wishing the night away. Anyone want to give me any feedback? Has anybody got any ideas on how the audience, let's see who we've got in Clubhouse. So we've got, how many people we've got in here? So we've got 53 people in the House of Club. We've got, I can't see how many people viewing across all my multiple platforms, but I'm going to try and answer any questions I can. Abby and Holly are going to mod for me in Clubhouse. And they will bring people up who've got any questions or anything to add that might help the audience make an additional 997 between now and April. Angie, would we have to put the £99 offer on different channels to promote the 995 or 71 on one? Right. So if in the next 3 weeks, because it's not forever just for now, I would be posting my £99 thing everywhere, like all the groups that I'm in, all the places, and I would be really focusing on my 997 big offer that I'd be putting out, or my £500 for 2 people offer I'd be putting out in my Facebook page and LinkedIn homepage content, if that makes sense. That would be like my 4 pillars of content, which are stories, video, social proof, and call to action. I would be doing those 4 things all the time, talking about my higher priced offer for my existing audience, of my audience that was watching. And I would be, I don't want to use the word spamming, but I would be putting my £99 thing everywhere, including in Facebook groups where they allow you to promo and other such places. Okay. Sarah, did you have either a question, a suggestion, or something to contribute to this conversation around how can we make some extra money in the next few weeks?
Just a quick question. So you talked about obviously sending out emails, even if it's from what was possibly warm leads to now cold leads. Would that be best done via, like, for myself, I have like my own email address for people kind of contacting me through support. So if I was to put like an email list together, would it be better going through like a lead generation, like active campaign, or the monkey one, or would it be better going through my email address and sending it back out that way?
Holly, you're the expert in email marketing. Which is best?
Both.
Both.
All of the. It depends. It depends on where the people are that are, you know, who you want to reach. Like, if you can automate it, make your life easier, and spend your time doing other money making activities. Like, if you can be lazy, be lazy. I'm like 100% a fan of doing that. So, if you can reach the people that are most likely to be affected by that message via active campaign, or the monkey one, as I love that you call it. Use that.
MailChimp.
Get yourself set up on that ASAP. I could talk to the cows campaign about how much I still love email marketing. They say many people hate it. So if this is a great perfect excuse for you to get yourself set up and get emails and templates built and just start sending emails from all capacities.
Holly, what do you think about Gemma's tip email about, are you still interested in?
I love it. I thought you were going to say what you're interested in.
Just left you hanging.
No, I love it. I think the thing is, people's inboxes are so crowded of stuff, and really what you need to do is write an email that is worth the space in their inbox and is actually going to pique their interest in their inbox. So, in like subject lines and content of email is so hard, and that is such a great way of reinvigorating people who are just sat kind of dormant in your contact list.
Yeah, And do you think I'm right about the, people who maybe a couple of months ago were just too frightened to buy anything from anybody who are feeling a little bit more confident now?
Yeah, and I was literally saying this today to a couple of different people that I'm already starting to see that people's attitudes are changing towards spending money. Like I feel like the vibe has just completely changed in the last few weeks. Definitely from when we did the first 5-day challenge of the year to when we've done the festival. It's like speaking to a completely different group of people.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely going to be so many people who, up until the roadmap or whatever was released, were probably too scared to spend money. There's probably people now who are flapping at it because they don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are ready to start spending now, and I think this is a great time, a really good opportunity. I know I've said it a million times tonight, but it's worth saying again to re-engage your audience, like to get those people who are already. I mean, Sarah, of the 7 things, which are the ones that you thought you could definitely do, which were like, I definitely couldn't do those?
Well, I could definitely do the subscriptions because I'm like you. I've got just sat here. I'm thinking, oh God, I've got Disney Plus, Amazon, Netflix.
Yeah, right.
The whole kit and caboodle, and I'm like, I don't even think I use any of them. So it's definitely one that I could do. The other one would probably definitely be the emails. Because you would slap my wrist. I've got an email list, and I don't think I've ever utilized it. Which is, I know it's like tisk tisk tisk, point a dirty finger at you.
Now's the time to do it though, right, Sarah? Now's the time to do it, and that's a really good start. It's like, look, I've got this stuff going on and whatever, but that are you still interested in? So why are they on your email list in the first place? Like, that's what you need to go back to. And can you now? They will have moved on massively from where they were. I mean, have you got any tips, Holly, on re-engaging a sort of dormant email list?
I just started speaking and I hadn't unmuted myself. And this is one of my favourite things, and I will always repeatedly say
Can
this.
you all hear all right?
You have to earn the right to be in someone's inbox, like I just said. People's inbox are so full of people trying to sell them things all day long. And they've given you their data, so you have to almost pay them back for being in their inbox first thing in the morning, whatever. Mm. So remember that with every email that you send. Obviously sell to people. Just bear that in mind that when you're reinvigorating people, you are now taking up a spot in their inbox. So think about what value you can add. Think about what will entertain them. Think about what value you can add in what you're selling. Actually, just as you said, that's why the general length thing is so good, because it's actually speaking directly to them. You're not just screaming into the void. It sounds like you're asking them a direct question. So that's a really good approach. But definitely just thinking about how can you entertain and engage that person from the first thing that they see, the subject line in your inbox. And speak to them directly. They're a real human being, even if it is email, and emails can feel quite cold.
Definitely. I think you've got to be brave as well, Sarah, and just send that first one. When you've not spoken to someone for ages and it feels awkward because it's gone so long, you don't know who stopped texting first. It's like you've got to be brave and just go for it. And I think, it's about adding value, definitely, but just asking that question of, are you still interested in, your health and fitness, and and what Pete would say is, if someone says, oh, I don't want to buy now, or I'm not interested now, it's like, oh, that's cool, but what is your plan? Do you have a plan? The thing is, a lot of people, Sarah, will have signed up. So Sarah's in the fitness space, by the way, health and fitness space, but a lot of people will have signed up with good intentions and will have done nothing. And I mean nothing, I'm just talking about myself now, about it. Do you know what I mean? So it's probably a good time to say, you're interested in improving your health and fitness. What have you done since? And if you're not going to buy from me, what's your plan next? And I think that will get a lot of people thinking again as they're coming out of the sort of enforced hibernation that we've been living in of, Netflix and wine and crisps. That's just me, but getting one walk a day is kind of that's one thing, right? And people want to do something a bit different. So I think you've got a really big opportunity, Sarah.
Oh, for sure. I've just had a massive aha moment where I can do what Holly's just said, via what you just said, Pete, as well, which hopefully if I can get it onto the monkey thing, then I'm on a winner, hopefully. So fingers crossed. I'm going to go and implement. That's going to be my task for this month, I think, is really get my email list sorted and pushed down and get that communication back and forwards.
Amazing. So Sarah's already signed up for the mastermind, but I want her to make the money she's paid back before she starts the mastermind, right? That's the holy grail. Okay, anyone else want to come and talk to me? Anyone got any thoughts about the things that I've said, or want me to go over anything? Yes.
Can I just say something to Sarah? Just on a process front, it's something that we've kind of found this time. When you do send your emails, don't just leave it at once. So if they don't reply straight away, make sure you've got follow-ups that are slightly different and talking in a different manner, because people don't always see that first one.
No, they don't, especially if they've been dormant for a long time. Probably won't even recognise you. Holly and Abby, can you just keep an eye on Facebook and see if I'm missing any comments on there? Because I feel bad because I can't really see. I can see Angie and Marianne and Karim and Simon, but that's about it. So I don't know if that's all I've got commenting, which is fine. But it just says on StreamYard, can't post comments for some destinations. So I don't know if I'm missing anything anywhere. If you could let me know, just read them out, because obviously I can see them. They can see me. So yeah, this is me spinning some plates when it comes to social media broadcasting, just simply because I've run out of time. Yes, Abby.
Sorry. So we've got Sharon Rollinson on Facebook saying she's got tons of teenage clothes that she's going to sell, and her burlesque stuff, which is quite interesting.
Oh, nice. Nice.
She can't be on Clubhouse because she's in the bar.
It's dangerous. Yeah, we don't want anyone Clubhouse in front of the bar. Yes, so selling something that doesn't serve you anymore, whether it's burlesque things or not. It might be a hobby. Like Phil Higgins, who some of you might know through Gemma, who works for us. Like, he's the worst, like, for taking up a new hobby and buying all the things. So like photography, he just bought all the cameras, all the kind of stuff. Then he wanted a drone, so he bought all the drone stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then he got into like making his own fishing stuff, and he bought all the stuff. So he must have like so much stuff. He's got a lockup. So he's got a whole basically mini sort of warehouse of stuff. And it's like, there must be thousands and thousands of pounds worth of stuff in there, definitely. So yeah, it doesn't even have to be your stuff, guys. Maybe your partner's a secret hoarder and you can convince them that if you've got a partner and you want to do this, I would say, like, let's make £2,000. I'll have £1,000 spent on what I want. Hopefully Helen's mastermind. You have £1,000 spent on whatever you want. Might be a golfing trip away, using complete stereotypes on International Women's Day, but hopefully you know what I mean. You know, why don't we sell all your old golf clubs for £2,000, split the money, you go on a golfing holiday, buy some new golf clubs, and I will go on a spa day and book into Helen's thing. So there might be something to do there. And also with kids, if you can engage them in the whole process, they're normally more social media savvy than us as well, so they're better at selling stuff. And then they can make some cash money as well. And just on the burlesque thing, if you've got like a hobby or a specialty that's completely left field of what you do, there's probably still money to be made in helping people, mentoring people, teaching people in your thing. So just using Phil as an example. So he lays resin driveways for a living, but he's also a sponsored top carp fisherman who does all the competitions and stuff. So I would say to him, you could make money in your spare time by mentoring other wannabe carp fisher people. You know, if you've done something other people want to do, you can help them with that and get paid for it outside of your day job. So try and think of creative ways of how to make this extra £1,000, right? But keep it legal and keep it safe, guys. Caroline on the Clubhouse. Hello, darling. How are you?
Hi, Helen. I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good. I feel like I'm, spinning plates at the circus, but I'm good. I'm on it.
Sounds like you did an amazing job.
so far, so good. I don't know. We'll see how the feedback is later, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you're multitasking to the max.
Yes, always.
Oh, well, thank you for bringing me up. Yeah, I just had a question about, like, all these ideas are absolutely brilliant, but I don't know if it's just me, and it probably is, but I have a bit of a block of, like, what to offer when to who, and I worry about offering too many things at once to the same people. So obviously there's offer something again you sold before, then you've got like the 4 to 6 weeks work with me, one night set that you mentioned, and you also mentioned the, you know, your high ticket or, you know, your top offer. And I have this real thing of like, I don't know what to offer to who, when.
Yeah.
And I don't want to offer all of them to the same people,
No.
and then end up not offering anything to anyone.
Yeah.
I'm a bit stuck.
I know exactly what you mean, and you're right. So my advice is always sell one thing to one person at one price at a time. So these offers are going to go to different people. So I would have repitching the offer you know has worked in the past, I would put that publicly on my main channels. So that's your big thing or your small thing. The going to your existing audience with that I want to work with you on a deeper level, I would do privately. Now I'm like the queen of no DMs, obviously, but if there are people that no DMs to people that don't know you, when people are your, you know, they're in your world, they're what I would call like fans, you know, it's not an ego thing. I say like, oh, like we use that terminology, Abby or Holly, I say, oh, they're a real fan and, you know, they want to do this, that, and the other. You know, they come to all your stuff, they buy all your stuff, like those are the people. And I would go to them privately and voice note them and say, hi, I'm thinking about doing this thing. You know, I wonder if it might not be for you or for somebody else, but I'm just approaching my 20 top people in my world. I want to do this thing on a deeper level. It's for 5 people. It's 197. If, you know, I want to work together for the next 4 to 6 weeks or 6 weeks, if it's something of interest, let me know. Or do you know anybody who might be interested? So that's a really good way of getting, without putting it out publicly, because you don't want to put it out publicly. You want the right people. So you want either the people you already kind of pre-approve yourself or their referrals. So they're in that, for those 2 examples, they don't clash at all, because one's a private kind of small group mastermind type thing, and one's a public. I know this offer's worked before, so I'm going to put it out. And the most important thing on both of them, obviously, is to put the deadline in place. When it comes to following up people who've expressed an interest, you are following up privately again with people who have expressed an interest in something, whatever that thing is, and seeing if you can re-engage them on that thing. So again, that's done privately. And then the email is about re-engaging your audience. So that is publicly, I guess, but it's just done on email, so it's not going to impact your social. And then the £99 thing, I would always be putting that in all the most random places. So I used to be in loads of free Facebook groups for entrepreneurs. And we've got, this is actually inside the business mastermind, but we've got a huge spreadsheet that my sister made with me. And it's got every Facebook group that we could find that was for big entrepreneurs, and it's segmented by the days they allow promo, and all the links are in there. So I just used to go to the ones that would allow promo and post it in the promo threads, where yes, it gets lost in a sea of other people, but you know, it gets in front of people, you know. So that's what I would do with the my £99 thing, to keep it away from, although I did post on my own stuff as well, but not completely clashing with, you know, posting that 100 times as well as your other stuff. So does that help?
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to segment all the different things out. But yeah, I totally get what you mean. Yeah, like the 197s, like, you know, you pick your people out. And yeah, definitely. Just need to kind of rejig my stuff and get it out there. But yeah, like if you have like your high ticket, the high ticket offer, I'm thinking of like doing a group program. So it's just kind of working that out really, but again, that will be put out publicly. So
well,
just...
yeah, the thing is, for me, that's how I started the mastermind. I was doing a really small group program. I just did my Catalyst mastermind by posting one post about it, and it was just a screenshot of what I thought it would look like, and that was 5k. And I filled that with, you know, I've got 6 people in there, like the people from our world who were kind of wanting to work on that deep level. So that you can do that high ticket, and I would advise that you do, but this is for how can we make $1,000 in the next 3 weeks, right? So yeah, there's loads of different ways you can split it, and everyone's businesses will be different. But for you, if you've done PR, I mean, there's so many different ways you could offer things for people. I can see you doing a fair bit on Clubhouse as well. So I would be pitching on Clubhouse every time you're on as well. Just say to people, look, I've got something for you. DM me on Instagram and we'll send you the details. And then I would say, you know, if you're this type of person, you know, to anyone who DM me, you know, we probably like offer different things depending on who they are and where they're at.
Brilliant. Yeah, we'll do. I'll go back through and is this recorded then on YouTube and Facebook? Can I watch it?
Yeah, so it'll be on my personal Facebook wall. So if you go to my personal Facebook, just search for Helen Pritchard. You can only follow me, unfortunately, not connect, because I'm up to the limit. But if you follow me, everything I do goes on public. So you'll be able to scroll back to whatever time we started, 4:20, and you should find it on there.
That's brilliant. I can't always keep up, so I have to go back. But that's fantastic. Thanks.
Amazing. Thanks, Caroline. Yeah, and I do speak super fast. I am aware of that. Right, just hold your horses, James Boardman. We have a question from Facebook, Abby.
We do. So Angie Debbie has asked, would we have to put our £99 offer on different channels to where we promote the 997 one? Yes.
So I sort of half answered this before, and I think I've kind of answered it with Caroline's question. Is it's like same but different, isn't it? So we're going to talk about our £99 thing in multiple ways in a really small way, but then our 997 thing in a much more, or our 2 at 500 if you're not quite confident enough to put one offer at 997. Then I would talk about that in the pillars of my content. So my stories, my video, my social proof, my call to action. So that would be my answer to that. Or if you wanted to, you could split it. So you just talked about one on LinkedIn and one on Facebook, or one on Instagram and one on Clubhouse. You get to choose. The point is that you're putting these offers out consistently in loads of different places because we want to get that 997 in over and over again, right? Amazing. Thanks, Angie. Yes, I can see Angie's comments. Fantastic. The power of technology. Okay, James Boardman, did you want to ask questions? Have you got a suggestion? Any thoughts? How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Can't believe it's 5:10. Like the day's gone nowhere.
I know. I just realised the time. Can't believe it. So, just a couple of things. Number one was, I don't know what number it was that you gave, but you talked about like messaging out, and I was sharing with you and Pete earlier in the week the success that we had, and
yes.
I had two places left. I was like, you know, I've got to do it. I'm just going to message out quickly and follow up. And literally in the space of like listening to you, we just had 4 applications come through just by that trigger of you saying it to throw in that message out there. It's like insane. You just simply forget to do it, right? You simply just ask. The other thing that I wanted to ask you was like with your mastermind, is there a particular price point that you have where you want to earn, where you have the application process of going through, if you like, they fill out a movement form and then you interview them, or do you have that process?
Yeah, so we have that process for the mastermind, and we will be implementing it for the LinkedIn mastermind in time, not this round because it's quite process heavy. It's the first time we've done an application process. We did it for the business mastermind, and it's an absolute game changer. It's so good. It's so great from both sides, from our side and for the people that are buying, and the feedback's been amazing, and the way it's worked has been brilliant. And from a conversion point of view, it's off the scale. So I mean, it's Pete's method, not mine. He's my sales director now, so he's overlaid it into our business, and it's worked amazingly. And we're also going to really pull our socks up with our own follow-up and our own re-engagement with our audience, people who don't buy. But there's no price point, no. So Pete does it for his £99 offers as well, for his masterclasses and stuff like that. He still has an application process. He doesn't do interviews, but he does do application only, and it's definitely the way we're moving, because he says, if anyone can just get on anything, then it just becomes much less valuable. You need to really start to filter people out, because it just makes it work better, and it just gives you a bit of quality control in terms of your programs and stuff. And from a buyer's point of view, I don't know how Sarah felt about it. I don't know if you want to add on to that, but it just seems to be such a great energy for people. Like I can't explain how great the process is. And it's not over yet. It's still going on. We're still doing calls for the next 3 weeks. So yeah, I don't think there is. In short answer is, I definitely do for anything over £1,000, and I would definitely consider it for anything under as well, because it's that good.
Yeah, I definitely notice the language changing as well with the clients when we do it. They're like almost, I hope that I'm accepted, or I'm really hoping that I get in. And it really changed the whole. Like we've noticed, it changed the whole concept. But I was just interested if you had the price point.
Yeah, this is the first time we've done it, but I think we'll roll it out across all of our stuff, apart from the very low ticket stuff at like £27, whatever.
Yeah, nice. Mate, thanks for that. Thanks for your time, Helen.
You're welcome. The lovely Claire Honeyfield, how are you?
Hi, Helen, how are you?
Hi, darling. I am good, thank you. How's things?
Well, I really enjoyed that, taking notes.
Good. I wrote notes, Claire. Who knew?
I got a whole A4 page of notes. So I think I'm going to do the 197 for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, good plan.
Group coaching mastermind.
Yeah.
Would you run that on WhatsApp or on a pop-up Facebook group?
Pop-up Facebook group every time. You can have a WhatsApp chat to go alongside it, but you can also have a Facebook Messenger chat. Facebook is just the best for community anything. Like, it's so good the way that it works. Yeah, that's exactly how I started the LinkedIn Mastermind. I just put 8 people into a free Facebook group. And I know you're not allowed to charge for a free Facebook group, but you know, now we have content on Thinkific and stuff like that. But honestly, that's how I started. I just put everyone in a free Facebook group. It's £300 a head, and I just did a video every day in there, and that formed the mastermind for years. And you know, we sold that same thing for £1,500 to like 2,000 people now. So it's just a great way to get started. It's a great way to get some money in the bank. And I actually started the mastermind because I had a big tax bill, and I couldn't see a way that I could make that money without doing something group, because I was doing a lot of one-to-one, and I was doing a lot of workshops and things like that. But I really did want to create a program, and I was just like putting it off, and then I had a big tax bill, and then I had to make some money. So I had my feet to the fire, and that's what I did. You know, I got 8 people together. So this is what I mean. Everything on this list I've done. I've done because that hustle mentality. You know, I'm not a big you know, rise and grind 5 a.m. person, but I do have a lot of that in me where I like the challenge. To me, the challenge of helping somebody make 997 is as exciting as making it myself. But there's an entrepreneurial adrenaline that comes from, I've got to make it. So it's nice if you don't have to make it, but you want to make it extra, but you have to put the same amount of energy into it. I think that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
And can I ask you one more question?
You can.
How much content, and do you theme it? Do you have a theme for each week, like a topic?
Oh, inside the group. So yeah, I did. I had a sort of natural. I knew the things I wanted to teach. So my LinkedIn stuff's really simple, right? It's you know, I want you to write your, you know, understand who your ideal client is, write your profile in a certain way, add people every day, engage with your audience every day, and put content out every day. So they were my themes. Yeah. So I think an element of theme, so like an element of a plan over the I do it for 6 weeks. 4 weeks a bit short, 6 weeks, 8 weeks a bit long. So 6 weeks, and just, I mean, I take it easy. I wouldn't absolutely overwhelm them, but I definitely have a big picture of taking them from A to B, and then the kind of steps along the way of each week of what kind of themes are going to be. And then you can just, it helps you really when it comes to creating content then. The reason why people will already be in your audience or want to work on a deeper level, you have to allow them to get more access to you. That's what they're paying for. So really over delivering that, and I would do lots of lives, Q&A, Zoom hangouts, you know, and that kind of stuff, because that's what they want. They want access to you. That's what they're paying for. You know, in the future, you'll have, you know, build a big program out. I only do a live once a fortnight, but a call once a fortnight. But that first week I was doing, you know, I think I was doing lives on a Monday and a Friday or something like that, just to keep people accountable. And you know, doing Zoom hangouts is something that we're implementing into our business now. It seems to work really well. People like to see each other's faces and just literally hang out. And yeah, I know Zoom fatigue is a thing, but I still think people want to see other people, even if they can't go and see other people in real life. So yeah, I think you could just sketch it out on a piece of paper. And that's the thing, is when you're selling at something that's probably going to be worth $1,000, $2,000 in the next couple of months, is when you're selling at 197, it's be really clear that you're selling it for, it's a beta price. So it's a low price to cover your costs and your time. And in return, you want them to help give you feedback, you know, help you kind of formulate the content, say what they like, what they don't like, and ultimately take action, get the results, and then give you a great testimonial at the end. Then you've got your social proof, you've got your experience, you've got everything to go to the market and say, I know now this is worth 997. And this is, you know, I want 5 people to come and join me on the next round of it. And you just build it from there.
Thank you. That is so exciting. I'm so excited about this.
You're welcome. Thanks. And you've got a call back booked, haven't you, Claire?
Yeah, I'm excited about doing your year-long mastermind.
Let's make you, this is the point of this call, though, is to get you to make 997 before we even start on the 1st of April.
Yeah, excited.
Then it's kind of free.
Thanks, Hannah.
Yeah, no worries, darling. Nice to see you. And hear you.
You too.
Amazing. Any more questions in the audience? Anybody else on FaceCB anywhere want to ask me anything? Abby, is there anything else there? Anywhere I can see?
Nothing on Facebook.
Oh, that's it then, guys. I think I'm going to wrap up across multiple platforms. The world didn't stop turning. Everything seems okay. So far, so good. Let me know how you thought of me doing 2 things at once. Thank you, everyone listening on Clubhouse. If you DM me on Instagram or on Facebook with Mastermind, we will send you all the details you may need to at least go and have a look at it and then you can apply for it before the 1st of April if you make your 997. The payment options for the business mastermind, or the plan for the business mastermind, is it's a year. If we work together for a whole 12 months, it covers everything from starting, growing and scaling a business online, not necessarily an online business. I have to keep stuff myself. So you can have a bricks and mortar business, you can have a traditional business, you can have a product or service, B2B, B2C. That isn't the issue. The point of the whole year together is to get you really famous for your thing. So it's all about getting really visible online and really creating things like programs, or creating really effective one-to-one strategies, and getting more visible and doing more things, and how to work all of this kind of stuff. Although I'm clearly not an expert, we can help you with all of that. So you can find out all about it on the landing page. Abby or Holly will be able to set you up with that. No dramas. But in terms of payment, it's a £2,000 program. But what I'm doing is it's 997 up front. And then, or you can pay over a payment plan, but 997, you commit to paying 997 to us, that covers all of our costs. And then when you've made it back and you feel ready and able and excited to give us the £1,000 back, there's no credit control attached to it, we don't chase you and we don't contract you to it, but when you are able and willing to pay us £1,000 back, we will celebrate with you inside the program. So we've had lots of 40 plus people now signed up, lots more calls to go. It's all very exciting. I'm really excited to create the ultimate roadmap to building an online business with some of you guys. So thanks for listening. Thanks for your patience. If you've been on multiple platforms, waiting for your questions to be answered. I'm going to close the Clubhouse room. I'm going to end the StreamYard. I'm going to go and have a glass of wine and sit down. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody.